This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. Today's video is brought to you by Ground News. You'll remember yesterday, Donald Trump woke up in the middle of the night, or maybe he just never went to sleep because he's fuming about the prospect of being held accountable for his many crimes. Whether he woke up or just didn't go to sleep, he posted on Truth Social a threat about potential death and destruction if indeed he does face legal consequences for his actions, like any other American should. I'll remind you of the tweet here, the post on Truth Social. What kind of person can charge another person? In this case, a former president of the United States who got more votes than any sitting president in history and leading candidate by far for the Republican nomination, with a crime when it is known by all that no crime has been committed, and also known that potential death and destruction in such a false charge could be catastrophic for our country. This is clearly, I did a video, separate whole video about this, about that we can expect more of this if Donald Trump, if our leaders fail to take Donald Trump seriously and hold him to account. If our leaders, both in the justice system, but also political leaders, if they refuse to do anything about this, this will be the outcome. It will be death and destruction. We witnessed the insurrection. We know he's capable of it. What I want to talk about today is the lack of response from Republicans. And actually, there is a leader on Capitol Hill who has what it takes to stand up and say something about it. He just happens to not be in the Republican Party. I'm going to get to them. Some ridiculousness from Jim Jordan. But before I do, a very brief word from today's sponsor, Ground News. On my channel, I strive to get the whole picture. This can be challenging, though, in today's media environment where stories break quickly and come at you from multiple angles. Ground News helps me sort through the chaos. Using their app or website, I can quickly see all the sources reporting on a story and where they fall on the political spectrum. Then I can directly compare articles from thousands of publications to help distinguish fact from opinion. For example, when Silicon Valley Bank collapsed, I could see exactly how media outlets on the left and on the right were framing the story. I can also get additional context about the reliability of the news sources reporting and who owns those sources. Ground News is an excellent tool that gives you a full view of what's happening. Try it today at ground.news/Dollemore, then subscribe to get unlimited access to all features and to support both this channel and an independent news platform focused on making the media landscape more transparent. Find your foundation with Ground News. So, Sahil Kapoor from NBC had an interaction with Jim Jordan, a committee chairman, a powerful person in the House of Representatives now that the Republicans have the majority. He tweeted about it here. He said, "Ask Representative Jim Jordan what he makes of Trump's warning about potential death and destruction if indicted." Jordan said he hasn't seen Trump's post. When I showed this to him on my phone, he said he can't read well without his glasses. He added, he's reviewing D.A. Bragg's letter. So Jim Jordan turns into, Mr. Magoo, where's my glasses? I can't see anything. As though that's supposed to be a replacement for leadership and responsibility in government. I don't have my reading glasses on. Like, you haven't heard? You haven't turned on the news? You haven't read your Twitter feed to know that your president, your guy, is now threatening death and destruction, and you think that it's appropriate, Jim Jordan, to just walk away having given no answer? We shouldn't expect anything less or anything more, from Jim Jordan, because his leader, Kevin McCarthy, did just that, just walked away from the question. Watch this.
Secure our borders and make sure our economy becomes stronger. Thank you.
Any reaction to Trump's death and destruction tweet, sir?
Republicans are filled with cowards. The Republican Party is filled with cowards and cowardice. It is ignoring a clear and present danger against the country, and the only reason it's ignored is because he's on their team. He's their guy. If this was Joe Biden threatening death and destruction if he was held accountable for his crimes, Republicans would be losing their minds. We'd have Marjorie Taylor Greene out there every day in front of a microphone yammering on about taking out the Biden crime family. But because it's Trump, nothing. Hakeem Jeffries, though, did have something to say, didn't shirk away, didn't run away like a coward when asked about it. Here's what he said.
Mr. Jeffries, in one of his late-night Truth Social missives last night, the former president said there would be a potential for, quote, death and destruction should Alvin Bragg choose to charge him in his investigation. What's your response to that?
Well, the twice impeached former president's rhetoric is reckless, reprehensible, and irresponsible. It's dangerous, and if he keeps it up, he's going to get someone killed. We've already seen the consequences of incitement from the former president. He is principally responsible for inciting the violent insurrection that happened on January 6th, but clearly he has not learned his lesson. It's also very unfortunate that the extreme MAGA Republicans in the House of Representatives continue to back President Trump and his reckless and his violent and his hateful and his disgusting rhetoric.
No need to run away. You can just answer the question, because all reasonable people see what is taking place with Donald Trump and his threats, his incitement of his unruly mob to violence. The same people who attacked the United States Capitol in a bid to overturn the free and fair and settled American election that had just taken place. Donald Trump will end up getting somebody hurt, maybe killed, maybe more than just one person. He does not care. Republicans do not care. The Law and Order Party does not care. What do you think? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a brief voicemail, 714-576-4054. You can absolutely, as always, email me the old-fashioned way, daily@dollemore.com. I'd love to hear from you. You can follow me on social media if that is your preferred medium of communication. I'm at Dollemore on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I'd love to see you there. And if you appreciate what I do and you want to take part in producing my content here, click the join button below. Become a channel member for $2 a month, or you can head on over to patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I love you guys. I'll see you next time. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.